Hi, and welcome to Yoga with Soul. Today we are going to be working on a Hatha yoga class for the throat chakra. So this is the energy center that deals with or governs concepts such as self-expression, communication, clear communication, speaking your truth, being authentic in how you speak to others and also how you speak to yourself. So we'll start our class here with a collective chant of Om. We'll go through one cycle of breath first, and then we'll chant on our next exhale. So we'll inhale together and sigh it out. Inhale. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow the head. Let's set our intention for today's practice. I intend to express myself in my truth, clarity, and authenticity. Breathe your intention in. And exhale, release it out into the universe. It is done. Welcome to class. So we'll start today with some neck warm-up. So we're going to warm up the neck, warm up the shoulders. So we'll bring the chin down towards the chest. Right ear over the right shoulder. Chin to the sky. And left ear over left shoulder. Chin to chest. Ear to shoulder. Chin to sky. And ear to shoulder. So just move slowly and mindfully through a few of these neck circles here. Just trying to stay present, noticing what happens in the neck. Maybe you hear some cracks and pops. It's okay. Just releasing energy here, releasing tension. Maybe you complete your last circle. Bring your head to center. And we'll move through neck circles on the other side. So maybe take 3 or 4 circles. On your last circle, you can complete it and then bring the head back up to center. Big inhale in, long exhale out. So sitting up nice and tall here, we want to extend the spine almost as if there's a string at the top of the head, pulling the body up toward the ceiling. And from here, we'll start rolling through the shoulders. So bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears, squeeze them up, pull them back in space, roll them down the back body, and then bring them forward again. Just rolling through the shoulders, waking up the upper body. Maybe you finish your last circle and then change directions. From here, let's bring our hands to the jawline underneath the ears and just begin to give yourself a bit of a self-massage here. So we have lots of tension in the jaw, in the neck. Again, we're just releasing that, making space to communicate clearly and authentically. Now from here, we'll interlace the palms, bring them to the back of the neck, the base of the neck, or sorry, base of the head. Okay, you can leave the thumbs open. And then from here, you can just begin to give yourself a little bit of a neck massage here. So again, self-massage is such a great way to release tension and to show ourselves love and care. Maybe you move down the sides of the neck, down to the shoulders, whatever your body is calling for. And then from here, we'll come to neutral, opening the elbows up wide. And we're going to move through a few rounds of seated cat-cow with our elbows. So on the cow, we're going to arch the spine, lift the chest, relax the head back into the hands as you open the elbows up in space. Inhale. And then on the exhale, curl through the spine, pull the elbows in, pull the navel in. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Elbows touch or reach towards each other. Inhale, cow. Let the head push back into the hands. We don't want to crank in the back of the neck, but we push the head back into the hands, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, find your cat. Elbows come in. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, release the hands. Left palm comes down to the mat. Option to bring a block underneath the hand as well. Inhale, right arm comes up. And let's bend over to the left. Bring a gentle bend into the elbow here. Inhale through center. Exhale, right hand comes down. Left arm comes up. And inhale, extend. Inhale, come up. And then we'll make our way down onto our backs. And once we're there, we'll hug the knees up and into the chest. So hugging the knees in, maybe you rock side to side for a moment here, massaging the low back. And from here, we're going to come into, there's a couple of different options. You can start with legs up the wall. So if you're near a wall, you can bring your mat right up close to it, scoot the bum down, lift the legs up, and you can rest your legs on the wall, okay? Legs up the wall. You can also go into waterfall. So taking a block, lifting the hips, placing the block underneath the sacral bone, so not quite the tailbone. And then from here, you can gently bring the knees in, lift the legs up, the feet up toward the ceiling. You can even hold on to the edge of the block to keep it in place. So this is our waterfall pose. Last option, if a shoulder stand is part of your regular practice, we'll come into our shoulder stand. So you might need a little bit of momentum here. Palms flat on the mat. Lift the feet up toward the ceiling. The hands come to the low back to support. Okay? Now, do whatever feels most comfortable here. If you're in your shoulder stand, you want to try aligning the hips over the shoulders. We'll be here for a few cycles of breath. Now, all of these postures help to regulate blood flow, so it helps with our circulation. They also help to reduce depression, anxiety, insomnia. So lots of great benefits. As well, these poses stimulate the throat chakra. So our chakras are all connected to various nerve plexuses within our physical bodies. So chakras are energetic, but they are connected to physical nerve plexus. And our legs up the wall, our waterfall, and our shoulder stand especially stimulate the plexus of the throat. So already we're really starting to move the energy of the throat chakra. Remembering to breathe here in whatever posture you're in. When we have an imbalanced throat chakra, we might find it hard to express ourselves. We might find it difficult to be honest with ourselves and others. We might have a hard time being clear with our speech. Right? It's important to remember that from speech, we create sound waves, right? We are literally, when we speak, we're creating vibrations, sound vibrations. And this is a form of energy. So what we are saying is creating energy. And this is why it is so important to be mindful of what we say, how we say it, and to who are we speaking to others and to ourselves. How are we speaking to ourselves? What are we telling ourselves and expressing to ourselves as well as the world? Because what we say creates energy. So the words that we bring into the world, whether they are about others, about ourselves, or to other people, to ourselves, these are creating our energetic realities, right? And this informs our physical reality. Wherever you are, you can begin to come down. So coming out of your shoulder stand, you want to bring your palms to the mat and push into your palms as you slowly lower the knees down. And then bring the feet down to the mat. So hands come down to the mat. Knees slowly lower down. Feet can come down. And then we'll move right into our Shavasana, so extending the legs long down the mat. Palms might face up. We'll be here for just a few cycles of breath. Now from here, we're going to come into our fish pose. So I'll show you the supported version first. Still lying on our backs, we'll take a block lengthwise on the mat. And we don't want the end of the block to be anywhere lower than our last rib. So just noticing where your last rib is on your body and lining up the bottom of the block with that last rib or higher. And then you can just relax back on the block. If it feels okay for your neck, you can release the crown of the head to the floor. If there are neck sensitivities, you can bring a block underneath the head. And this is our fish pose. And again, we're really opening up the chest, the shoulders, the collarbone, as well as the throat and the neck. And as we'll learn over time, the throat and the heart chakras are very intricately connected. So oftentimes with various postures or asanas in your yoga practice that open up the throat, they also work the chest as well, because these plexuses are so deeply connected. Find your breath. 2 more cycles of breath. Sorry, you know what? I also forgot to show you the full fish pose. I'll go into that right now. We start by placing our palms on the mat, lifting up the glutes, sliding the hands and the wrists underneath the glutes. And then from here, we lift the chin, lift the shoulders to look at the toes. We look down at the toes, we come up onto the elbows, and then from here, lift the chest and relax the crown of the head down toward the mat. Now again, we're not putting pressure on the head here. We're really pressing into the elbows to lift, and then relaxing the crown down and over. So deep, deep throat opening posture here in our full fish posture, full fish pose. And to come out of it, mindfully bring the chin toward the chest, look over at the toes, and then slowly lower down off the elbows. You can bring the palms out from underneath you. And from here, we'll make our way up to a seated position. The legs extended long down the mat. We're coming into our seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana, with a block. So take your block, or you could use a cushion or a pillow, whatever you have on hand, or even a blanket just rolled up, just so we give ourselves a little bit of space here by lifting up the hips. And then from here, find this nice length in the spine. Reach the hands behind the ears up toward the ceiling. Inhale deeply. And exhale, fold over the thighs, reaching for the feet, the ankles, the shins. Whatever feels good, wherever you can reach. You can even hold onto the mat or your pant legs. Now we want to maintain a little bit of integrity in the spine here. So really hinging at the waist. And once your body begins to naturally curl, as mine is, you can relax the chin toward the chest. Find your breath. Inhale to rise up. Remove the block from underneath you. And we'll come into a reverse table or a reverse plank. So hands come behind you. For reverse plank, you lift the hips up. Maybe the feet reach toward the ground. Gaze straight up at the ceiling. For reverse table, you bring the soles of the feet in and lift the hips up. Ankles are beneath the knees. Wherever you are, 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale deeply, and exhale. Lower the hips down. Now we'll come into revolved head to knee. So bringing the right sole of the foot in, left leg extends long. We'll reach up with our left arm, and then maybe you take your peace fingers, grab the big toe. Maybe you hold on to the edges of the foot or the ankle. Right arm comes up. And we'll bend over to the extended left leg. And be mindful here not to collapse in the shoulders. We're going to lift the chest. Maybe even spiraling it up toward the ceiling. Left elbow can pull gently on the foot if that's where you're at. The elbow reaches down toward the ground. 1 more cycle of breath. And on your next inhale, release, rise up. And we'll switch sides. So left sole of the foot comes in, right leg extends long. Right arm reaches up. And we reach for the toe, the foot, the ankle, the pants. Left arm comes up and over. Being mindful not to collapse in the chest and the shoulders. And breathe. One more inhale. Exhale. And on your next inhale, rise up. Extend both legs long here and bring a gentle bend into the knees. So we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold with our knees slightly bent. So first find your extension in the spine, so sitting up nice and tall. Inhale. And then on the exhale, begin to crawl the hands forward. The knees stay bent. The toes are flexed towards the shins. Okay, this protects our knees. We also want to be mindful that our knees are not coming in like this. Open them up. Open them up nice and wide. Two more cycles of breath. Beautiful. From here, crawl the fingertips back up, find length in the spine. Pull both feet in. We're coming into our yogi squat malasana. So both feet come in. We can come up onto the feet. Option to bring a block underneath the sits bones if this helps. We want to be putting equal balance in all corners of our feet. So noticing if our knees are dipping in like this, or we're the feet are rolled out to the outer edges of the feet. Okay, we want to be mindful of this. Just pressing into all corners of the feet. Palms can come together at heart center, elbows pressing into the elbows, or sorry, elbows pressing into the knees, knees pressing into the elbows. And just find your breath here. 2 cycles, deep and conscious. Beautiful. From here, take the left hand, place it in front of or beside the left foot. Inhale, right arm reaches toward the ceiling. Maybe here, you find a bind. So reaching to interlace the hands or clasp onto the hands around the left leg and the lower back. Exhale, release. Hands back to heart center. And we'll move into the other side. So right hand comes either in front of or to the outside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Gentle twist here. And maybe you'd find your bind, your malasana bind. Looking up towards the left side, left ceiling. One more cycle of breath. And exhale, release, come back to center. Hands at the heart. Now from here, we'll place the fingertips down on the ground, lift the hips up. We're in a wide stance, forward fold. Bring a gentle bend into the knees. I'll turn so you can see me this way. We want to be reaching the stomach down toward the thighs. Beautiful. Inhale. Heel toe the feet together so that they are about hip width distance. So maybe about a fist of space in between the feet. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, slowly rise up vertebra by vertebra until you're coming to a stand in your mountain pose Tadasana. When you get to the top, roll the shoulders up toward the ears, back and down the body. We'll take a few conscious cycles of breath here, bringing your awareness down to the soles of your feet. Maybe you lift the toes so that you're aware of the arches in your feet. And just again, finding the awareness between the sole of the feet and the earth upon which you stand. You are supported. Standing tall and strong, chin is lifted, chest is lifted. Now, if you're at the back of your mat, let's move to the front. We'll move through a vinyasa here. So inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe you bring a gentle back bend by pushing the hip points forward. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands on the shins or the thighs, shoulders away from the ears, gaze straight down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step one foot back, step the other foot back. We're in our plank pose. Now from here, you can lower the lower the knees, or you can come straight down to the belly by pulling the elbows in toward the ribs. Forehead to the mat. Inhale, cobra, lift the chin, lift the shoulders. And exhale, release. Inhale, come up through table or plank, find your downward facing dog. So in our down dog, our hips are lifted high and back. Heels are reaching toward the mat, but they don't have to touch. Our ears are in line with our upper arms. You can even bring a gentle bend into the knees here to lift the hips higher. On your next inhale, bring the right foot in, place it between the hands, and lower the left knee down. We're coming into our low lunge. So untuck the back toes. Our right ankle is beneath our right knee. You can stay here on tented fingertips. Or if you want to explore a little bit, you can reach the left arm forward, up and back for a low lunge twist. Inhale, bring the hand back. Let's take a twist on the other side as well. Reaching the right arm forward, up and back. Now we're twisting to the right side. And maybe here you think about bending the left knee, catching the foot with the right hand. Looking over that right shoulder. Just find your breath. 2 more cycles. Inhale and exhale, slowly release. Plant the palms, lift the back knee, step the back foot up to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Maybe you bring airplane arms, reaching the fingertips back, shoulders pull away from the ears, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, rise up, arms come up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Let's move through this flow on the other side now. Inhale, reach the arms up. Gentle back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back. This time, drop the right knee. Left ankle is beneath the left knee. Untuck the right toe, so the top of the right foot is pressing into the earth. Now you can stay here on tented fingertips. Option as well to bring blocks underneath the hands to bring the earth up to you. You can also reach the right fingertips forward, up and back for a twist. Push into the left foot. Being mindful not to let the knee splay out, keeping it over, tracking over the left ankle. Inhale. Exhale, bring that hand back. And maybe we explore a twist on the other side. So left fingertips now reach forward, up and back. We're twisting to the left side. And perhaps you bend the right knee and catch the right foot with the left hand. Again, being mindful here that the left knee is not opening up to the left side of the room, keeping it tracking over the toes, tracking over the left ankle in line with the second toe. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release the foot, release the hand, comes back forward. Lift the right knee, step the back foot up to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, rise up overhead. And exhale, hands to your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. 2 cycles of breath here, just noticing what's happening in the hip flexors, in the psoas muscle, the quads, maybe even in the shoulders, the chest, the armpits, just noticing, becoming the observer to your experiences. Beautiful. From here, we're going to find our warrior one. So we'll start by stepping the right leg back. The toes are pointing at about 2 to 3 o'clock. We'll bend into the left knee, left leg. Now again, we want the left knee over the left ankle. So if you find you're like this, maybe you want to shimmy that front foot forward or even walk the back foot back a little bit. And with our warrior one, our hips are squared more towards the front of the room, but not completely towards the front of the mat. So there's still a little bit of opening in the hips. We'll reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe you interlace the fingers, point the index fingers up toward the ceiling. Bend into the front leg, push into the outer edge of the back foot. Warrior one. And from here, we're going to chant the Bija mantra for the throat chakra, which is Hum. So you can chant along with me, or you can simply listen to the vibration. Inhale deeply. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. You can release the hands. We'll pivot the feet so that they're facing the long edge of the mat. Find your alignment. And we'll come into our star pose, our 5-pointed star. So reaching the arms up on the inhale, pointing to each different corner. Think about pulling the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest, really taking up space here. In our star pose, breathe. Lift the chin, open up the throat. One more cycle of breath. And then we're going to begin to move through some star twists. So you can keep the left hand down on the waist or up, whatever feels good. We'll inhale. On the exhale, reach the right hand toward the left foot, ankle, or leg. Again, left hand can be on the hip or the low back, or it can be reaching up toward the ceiling. Inhale to come up. Star. Exhale, left hand to right foot. Inhale to come up. Twist. Inhale to come up. And twist. Inhale to come up. On our next twist, we're going to practice a little bit of lion's breath. So just breathing out. Stick the tongue out. Just let it out. So inhale deeply. Exhale and twist. Inhale to come up. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale to come up. Exhale, lion's breath, twist. And 1 more. Inhale to come up. And exhale, lion's breath. Twist. Beautiful. Inhale to come up. Big deep inhale, lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades together. And on the exhale, you can release the arms. We're going to pivot now to the back edge of the mat. We're coming into warrior 1 on the other side. So again, our feet don't have to be on the same track, okay? 2 separate ski tracks here. This just opens up space in the pelvis, right? Especially when we're rotating the pelvis to face different areas. We want to just create a little bit of space by opening up the stance in the legs, okay? So warrior 1 on the other side, our toes are pointing towards 9, 10 o'clock. Right knee over right ankle. I swear the biggest challenge with yoga teaching is knowing my lefts and rights. So right knee over right ankle. Widen your stance if you need to, or shorten it, whatever feels good. We want to be pressing into the back edge of this left foot, okay? So this will help to activate all of the muscles in the legs and in the thighs. You'll feel it when you really, because if we're rolling onto the inner edge of the foot, we're putting pressure on the knee, we're putting pressure on the hip point here. We want to push into that back edge, and that will create a little bit more integrity and stability in the pose. And then from here, bending into the right foot, arms reach up overhead, interlace the palms, index finger points toward the ceiling. Now relax the shoulders away from the ears, but lift the chest, inhale, and chant or listen. Exhale, you can release the hands, step the back foot up to meet the front foot. We're facing backwards on our mats now, Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your breath, notice your body. From here, you can turn back to face the front edge of the mat. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward. Inhale, look forward, crawl forward to a plank position. So wrists are beneath the shoulders. You can walk the feet back a little bit. Get a nice long line between the heels and the crown of the head. Now again, here in our plank, we don't want to be collapsing in the shoulders. Push the earth away from you. Feel a slight rounding between the shoulder blades. And then from here, we're going to come into our inchworms. So drop the knees. The chest will come down in between the hands, elbows come in, and the glutes are sticking up a little bit. So we look a little bit like an inchworm here. And then from here, inhale, slide through the belly. Take your cobra, so lifting the chin, lifting the chest. Be here for one cycle of breath. And on your exhale, release the forehead down to the mat. We'll do this twice more. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the shoulders and the chest. Maybe even push into the pelvic bone, push into the tops of the feet. And exhale, release. Once more. Inhale, lift up. Now, mind here, your hands aren't doing too much work. We're strengthening the back muscles here by pushing into the pelvic bone and pushing into the feet. Maybe your kneecaps rise off the floor. And exhale, release. Now from here, take your left arm, and you can bring it parallel to the top of the mat. We'll bend the right leg, and then reach back, just kind of bringing the right heel in toward the glute. And stretching through the quad here. Maybe the foot comes toward the outside edge of the glute. Breathe. And on your exhale, release the foot, switch the arms. Reach back for the left foot. Pull it in toward the glute or beside it. You might even think about pushing the hip point, the left hip point, into the earth. This will create a slightly deeper stretch in the quads. Exhale. From here, we'll swing the right arm back, catch the right foot as well. We're preparing for our bow pose. So we're holding onto the ankles. If you can't reach, you can always grab a strap or a towel to wrap around the ankles and hold on to the strap or the towel. Now we're coming into our bow. So when we come into our bow on the inhale, we're going to lift the chin, lift the chest, lift the shoulders, kick the feet and the ankles into the hands, and lift the knees off the floor as well. So really pushing into the pubic bone as we lift up. Okay, so we'll inhale deeply. Exhale, release. And then inhale, come up into the bow, pushing into the hands, lifting the chin, the chest, the shoulders. Breathe here. Notice the way that the inhale rises your body up, and the exhale brings you closer to the earth. Squeeze through the glutes. One more cycle of breath. Exhale, release the knees down. Release the feet to the earth. Hands come underneath the shoulders or beside the ribs. Just lift through table and find your child's pose. So sinking the hips down towards the feet. Now if they can't quite reach, you can always place a pillow or a folded up blanket underneath the thighs in between the knees. But I want us to stay in a child's pose if it's accessible for you, versus an extended child's pose where the knees are open wide. Let's stay in a full child's pose to find the rounding in the spine that counters the bow that we just did. And I also want us to bring our hands into a mudra, so reaching the arms forward. The pinky, the heel of the hand, and the thumb come together, and the rest of the fingers open up. This is our lotus mudra. And I call this asana a gifted lotus. So we're bowing forward, forehead comes to the mat. It's almost like we're gifting the lotus to somebody, and the lotus represents rising out of the mud, rising up out of the struggle to create beauty, to create something beautiful. So we're gifting this to the world, we're gifting it to ourselves. Gifted lotus, lowering the forehead to the mat. Just begin to notice your breath here. As we're sitting here in our gifted lotus, I want to just bring some awareness to the topic that I was on earlier about how our words, our speech, literally create our energetic realities. It's important to remember that often what we speak is what we think, or it can be anyways. So our words can be fueled by our thoughts. Now our thoughts can be fueled by our subconscious impressions, right? Our samskaras. And it's important to be aware of what these subconscious impressions are, because that can inform what we say and how we say it. So if subconsciously we believe that we are not worthy or we are unlovable, this might come out into how we speak to ourselves. Maybe we have an inner critic that's very, very loud, right? Sometimes, these impressions are created by false conditioned beliefs. Things that we were made to believe about ourselves in childhood, perhaps, that are just not true, right? And this all kind of comes back to our original intention in the practice, which is that we are speaking in clarity and we are speaking our truth. And the truth of yogic philosophy is that we are all spiritual beings, perfect as we come, but as we move through the world, things impress upon us. Our senses take things in and create impressions in our mind that make us believe that we are separate from spirituality or from the divine, from source energy. Right? So this yogic philosophy is that we are all spiritual beings. We are all divine beings having human experiences. We are spiritual beings in human bodies. So this is the truth of yogic philosophy. This is just something that we have to remember when we begin to examine what we say to ourselves and how we say it. This is a part of yoga, self-study. It's just examining, studying ourselves, studying how we speak to ourselves, what we say to ourselves, and why. And then when we practice yoga, we're coming back to the belief, the truth, that we are spiritual beings, perfect as we are, having human experiences. one more cycle of breath wherever you are. And on your next inhale, you can begin to rise up and we'll come into a nice, easy pose here, cross-legged. We'll just take a few gentle twists. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes behind you, twist. Looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, reach the arms up, back through center. Exhale, left palm to right knee. Maybe you look over the right shoulder if that feels good for you. Inhale, come up through center, arms come up. Exhale, palms come down toward the heart center. Bow the head. Remind yourself of your intention to speak your truth, to speak in clarity and authenticity. Exhale, you can release the palms to the knees. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama here, some breath work before we end our practice. So this pranayama is called bee's breath. And it involves basically taking the thumbs and plugging the ears, or so you can push on the ears to plug them, or you can put your thumbs directly in your ears, whatever feels good. Okay, then from here, you can bring your hands to the crown of your head. You might close your eyes or soften your gaze. Other options are to bring the fingers in front of the eyes. So if this feels safe for you, you can cover your eyes. You can also bring the pinky to the lips, the ring finger beside the nose, the middle finger to cover the eyelids, and the index finger resting on the forehead. So take whatever hand variation you want here. And the idea is that we inhale with the ears open. And on our exhale, we plug the ears and we bring a hum into our throats. And this will stimulate the pineal gland. And it's a very calming type of pranayama. So I'll show you what it looks like first, and then we'll begin. Okay, so we'll begin with our bee's breath, taking whatever variation suits your body. Inhale, ears are open. Exhale, plug the ears and hum it out. awareness to your body, your brain, and your breath. And whenever you're ready, you can come back down onto your back for our final resting pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Feet are as wide as your yoga mat. You can snuggle the shoulder blades together underneath the back body, palms face up beside you in a gesture of receiving. And this is one of our most beneficial poses of the practice because it allows our body rest to absorb all of the benefits of our practice so far. Noticing the points of your body that are touching the earth and sinking into those areas with each exhale. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you need. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Namaste.